Hi, Denisha. Yes, go ahead though, quickly. I took a minute. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. What from the time she would have left, been out? Mm-hmm. Right. Meaning in terms of for the illness. Was she at work Monday? Right. No, man, for the illness, for the illness. Right. Mm-hmm.
We're out.
All right, guys, we're back. Are you ready? Or you need more time? We should be ready. We just want the definitions and so on, all right? So let's get into it. Room was asked to look at the self-appraisal. Maureen, you're the group leader. Can you share with us what exactly is the self-appraisal?
Okay, I did ask another member to report for me. May I ask the person? I just missed the name. I don't remember if it's Robert. Could you give us the name of our members again, please?
You asked Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright.
Okay, Mr. Wright, go ahead.
All right. I'm listening, Mr. Wright. That's George, right?
Yes.
All right. George, are you ready for us? Not here. I think he's driving and possibly he's in a bad zone. Well,
No,
go ahead.
George wasn't driving.
Wasn't George driving?
No.
He wasn't. All right.
All right.
Other members, go ahead. Yeah.
Maybe I can try and assist.
Yes.
This is Carolyn.
And Carly, yes, go ahead.
Basically, what we discovered and discussed was a system. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Whereby it seems as if there is some.
Go ahead.
There is mutual understanding between the employee and the employer as it relates to the terms of reference. In other words, the items, what you call it, the key indicators.
Key performance indicators.
Key performance indicators
that
would be looked at. And it is, there is a clear understanding as to how these indicators are graded between, say, for example, 1 to 5. Dependent on what it is that this individual knows is their responsibility. They would judge themselves at a grade equivalent to what they know they have accomplished. So there is some transparency between the two as it relates to the system that is in place. That having been done, it is an understanding that the employer, the appraiser, would also contribute to the process by speaking with the employee to determine whether or not, they are agreed as it relates to the grades that the employee, the scores, right, that the employee has given him or herself. In the course of our discussion, we were also of the view that in areas where the employee has fallen down, that would be easily identifiable, certainly by the employee, and moves could be made to address those issues.
Very good. Very good. Who's for Carlin?
Yes.
Excellent. Just very good, Carlin and team. But I want to ask a question. With the self-appraisal, how is goal setting done in this context, based on what you would have gathered from this? Is it individually? Is it by the company or jointly?
Would anybody like to take that from the team?
What's your impression?
Okay, I think it would be jointly, because jointly meaning that there has to be input from the organization based on the overall objectives. So every department will feed into the overall objectives of the company. So you must have some, your goals must be aligned with that. And then for the respective department and the respective role, the expectations of that role must also be a part of it. So for example, I'm in marketing. So we know that the overall goal for the company is that we must achieve our targets, and the target is X. But a category manager or a product manager reports into me. And for that product manager, they manage 2 of the 30 categories that we carry for the overall company. So their performance in those 2 business areas must be the KPIs, and also the other areas must be covered, particularly for the company, for their individual performance, and also for the attributes that that you must display within that role. So all of that would be agreed before. So every appraisal, it would be appraising for a particular period and preparing you for the next or for the upcoming appraisal period. So it must touch for the overall company, the individual role, and the attributes that are supposed to be portrayed in that role.
Miss
All right.
Cheryl, thank you for that save.
So Cheryl, here what happened now. I mean, there you have some strong points, but the self-appraisal, the concern with it, as it is that you, George, you have your hand up?
Yes, I was just going to add to what Cheryl has just said. Within the organization, the appraisal period would have been first defined. And at the beginning of that appraisal period, the employees would have been given their objectives, and the objectives or the KPIs would have listed the various areas that you will be assessed or praised along.
Yes.
The employee would naturally or would need it to sign off on those appraisal and those KPIs. And during the appraisal, the self-appraisal, the employee would say, I understand my role. I did not understand my role. Or the employee would have stated in the appraisal process all of these that it was clearly explained to them at the beginning, and this is how they have appraised themselves.
Very good. So, George, I think you would have refined what was said earlier by Cheryl, because what you just mentioned is that with the self-appraisal approach, colleagues, this particular appraisal style is that you find that the employee is given the goals, given the KPIs. It is not done jointly. Just to be clear, right? So you're given a set of goals, and KPIs or objectives, and you're expected to say if you understand them or not, and then you will execute. Then you'll appraise yourself, and the manager will comment based on the scores you'd have given yourself, and so on and so forth, and what was given to you initially in your job description. So this style, as it is